Well, hello and welcome to Respond in Kind. I'm super new to this YouTube thing, but do you prefer to go by Michael or Mike?
I usually go by Michael.
Okay.
Friends can call me Mike. So,
Right.
Are you a friend?
Hey, I'll let you decide that after our video here. Okay, have you heard of Ren? An artist called Ren out of the UK.
I have not.
All right. Well, you're gonna.
Hi there, Ran. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Ran, on you're pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi, Ran. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately, and I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect at always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Dumb boy. Nah, mate, this time is different, man, trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place, and my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great, and when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one, so you see. You gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Where are your Grammys, Ren? Nowhere. Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me.
I'm gonna pause real quick. It's a lot to digest.
He's very, very talented. It's interesting to see the wide array that he has taken with just the first 3 minutes of this song. It's pretty impressive that he can do that with one guitar, because it does sound like it's two instruments. And then with his who's and stuff kind of going, what is that? This is going to be a little bit more almost like a classical type singing. And then all of a sudden he breaks into this like Hamilton rap type thing.
Yeah.
And so then he has this whole dialogue with himself. And so I'm kind of going, okay, Brady, you're following me around, because I've had therapy sessions and talked about that internal dialogue that we have with ourselves and being our own worst critic and kind of an enemy to ourselves.
Well,
Do we truly feel safe with our own mind, or is our mind going to attack ourselves? I think that happens for a lot of us.
yeah, inside my brain, I give the arguments against what I haven't even said yet. And then I just don't say anything because I talk myself out of it. I need to be sharing more of what's going on in my head so that it will get out of my head.
One of the things I learned, and it actually kind of helps with being able to sit down and write. You don't have to know what it is, just write what you're feeling on a very surface level. You know, this is what I'm feeling. I don't know why, and it's okay that I don't know why.
Man, I need to do that more frequently. The problem is I pick up a pen to start writing, and again, I talk myself out of it. But what you're getting at, I think, is that it doesn't have to be in any kind of order.
It doesn't have to make sense.
It's just purely the process of getting it from the brain out.
Getting it out, and then it's out.
I'm going to start doing that. I always feel this drive to want to write things down, but I got to push through whatever's keeping me from actually writing something down because my brain doesn't feel very right now. I don't know if it's I'm not holding on to information as well or that there's too many thoughts going around. And in one of my therapy sessions, I asked, is there a limit to what the brain can take in? Is it possible that I've already filled up my brain with junk, like TV shows and books and whatever, to where I've reached my capacity? They didn't know the answer, but I've spoken with others who think that no, there's no limit, but I sure feel limited.
I think we all do at some point.
Yeah. Well, I digress. I'll let us get back to the song. I'm going to rewind it just a little bit so we get back in the flow. And you can see it's 9 minutes long.
This is like Bohemian Rhapsody long.
Yeah.
And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ran, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with his subconscious, Eminem did it. Played on guitar, Plan B did it. Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. F you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves. And I'll shake up the whole world beneath it. That's right, speak your truth, your fucking God complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it. Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus. F you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren. Well, fucking kill me then, let's fucking have you, Ren. I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside. Newsflash. I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason, beheading all kings. I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mustopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender. When standing in front of my solar eclipse, my name is stitched to your lips. So you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal, feeble and normal. You wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of end. I am you, you are me, I am you, friend. Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So coward the man I've become, when I sing from the top of my lungs, that I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspired I make to be strong. And when I am gone I will rise, in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a climate different side. When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare. But there were victims, and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax, and I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
That is Ren.
So that dialogue at the end, is that part of his story of who?
Yeah, he got sick and for several years was misdiagnosed and told, oh, it's just in your head, you're making it up, or your brain's making you sick. Finally, somebody realized that it was Lyme disease.
Lyme disease is brutal. I know one person that has it, and it's been awful for him.
I started looking at what the symptoms are and what a day in the life is like. And it seems to be one of those among many where it's not super visible. And so they just suffer silently.
Yeah. The guy that I know, when he initially started being symptomatic, it was just viewed as he was just getting viruses. Going to the doctor, they'd give him antivirals and nothing seemed to work. And then his parents paid for a specialist and they determined that he was diabetic. Well, that wasn't the problem. So it wasn't discovered until even later that he had Lyme disease. He was in and out of the hospital and he looked awful.
That sounds like it parallels some of what happened to Ren.
One line that stuck out, something like, the more intense the light gets, the darker the shadow.
Uh-huh.
And I think in terms of mental health and stuff, that sometimes everything seems to be going for us on the outside. The reality sometimes can be that the shadows are even darker. And that might be where somebody is, even though it looks on the outside to be this perfect, idyllic place. And I think mental health is so misunderstood and you just can't see it from the outside.
I've been struggling with that lately. If your arm's torn off, people can see that and provide some slack there. But on the mental health front, it just feels like an uphill battle. Anytime I use mental health as a reason for not doing what I know I should be capable of, it just comes out sounding like excuses. Like, yeah, everybody gets stressed and sad sometimes. Get over it. I'm like, well, okay, but I guess I can be a cautionary tale. Not focusing enough on positive mental health ultimately cost me my job because I was not and still not in a mental space where I can function in that setting that I used to be in. And it's very mentally exhausting thinking of going back and doing that type of work with my brain.
Completely understand that. I had a friend tell me the other day, like, you need to take vacation because it's been months since I've last had my day off. And I said, I can't. I am afraid to know what my inbox is going to look like when I come back after a single day off.
Can definitely relate to that.
We do need the psychological breaks at times, and allowing us to do that is kind of the hard thing. And I can't be the only one. We're not allowing ourselves the break that we deserve and that we earn. Companies give us PTO to use.
Yeah. I'll go in cycles where I'm like, well, I just need to be a robot. If I can go back to being a robot, I can go back to providing an income and do that until I don't have life anymore. And
is that a quality life though?
No, it's not. But I can't just, well, there's one extreme of, okay, I'm just going to go after my dream and ignore all this other stuff that I do have a responsibility for. Or do I set things aside from a dreams basis to just get in there? And sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do and put your shoulder to the wheel. Darn it.
Right, he brought it up. No.
Yeah. I don't know how we as humanity figure it out other than just what we're trying to do, dialogue and talk through it.
Yeah, I think what helps just in general is people connect with vulnerability.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you and I connected on TikTok. We were in a place that we were a bit more vulnerable.
Yeah. I think people are drawn to authenticity and vulnerability. And
I wonder if Ren expressing that vulnerability and stuff, if that has almost helped him in a way, because he is being very vulnerable in his music, in his videos. We're getting to see that real side to him.
Bingo. Yeah. You want to do another song?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. Would you rather?
Would you rather? This sounds like a slumber party question.
Yeah. With Ren, there are a lot of different paths to take. He's talented and he uses that talent in ways that touch people and talks about real stuff. And he does a lot of fun stuff too, just for the heck of it. There's a lighthearted path where he does some really cool rapping and beats and a cappella stuff. And then he's got some like Shakespearean level storytelling through song.
We might have to do a part 2 at some point.
If you're up for it, I'm up for it. Okay, I'm just going to pull up Sick Boy going off his chronic illness stuff.
Hi Ren, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for seeing me.
Looking at your file here, it seems there's a very apparent interplay with your emotional state and your physical body. Have you ever heard of the trauma response?
I don't think so.
Basically, our bodies can get stuck in a negative feedback loop. Our subconscious can repeat patterns from the past, which can have a pretty drastic downstream effect on our biology. Essentially, your mind is making you sick.
Sick boy, bitten by a tick boy, looking for that fix boy, anabolic steroids, stem cell, poster boy, pass out, white noise, quick fix, snake oil, I'm about to break boy. Oh, what a shame, he's in pain, have another go, take another pill, here, take a couple more, let's see how you're doing in another week or so, you'll be feeling worse when the side effects will show, derealization, medical patient, losing patience with the process, walking hand in hand with Satan, complications with the medication, inflammation, dehydration, inhalation, aggravation, building up a toleration, drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown, I've been feeling like I'm drowning with my feet upon the ground, I've been screaming, I've been shouting, but I never make a sound, I've been looking for a way out, but I always seem to drown.
Is this all making sense, Ren?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. What I propose we do is we try to pinpoint the exact experiences from the past that are keeping you stuck. What can you tell me about your childhood?
I can't really think.
It's okay if nothing comes up right away. What I'd like you to do is take some deep breaths with me. In and out. In and out. Good. Now tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
I feel like it's not me, it's the world that's sick. We're given everything we need and we commoditize it. We consume, we destroy like we're parasitic. Science tells us that it's suicide and still we commit. I'm not sick, we are standing on a cliff in the name of progress. We jump off the precipice. I'm not sick, I'm the virus, you're the virus, hypocrite. How can you sit there with that smile on and tell me that I'm sick? Sick boy, looking for a fix boy. Push it down in public, quick pose for the pick boy. Record label meetings that commodify your gift boy. Why you so upset? Don't you wanna be a rich boy? No, industry is cutthroat. I've been doing bits by myself, swimming backstroke, walking on a tightrope, rapping with a slit throat. The way that we persist is like the ending of a bad joke. As the people evolve, we're complacent to assailants and we do what we're told. Counterintelligence, a sight to behold. Rape the earth of all resources and we bleed it for gold. And we bleed it for wealth, we bleed it for fame. But when you bleed it, can you tell me what the will remain? And I bleed in myself, I bleed in my brain. While I'm bleeding, I'm the reason, cause I'm doing the same.
Impressions?
Where to begin? It's interesting because I can actually understand him, which is kind of surreal. Normally, I'm terrible at hearing the lyrics on any song.
He enunciates extremely well for as fast as he's going.
That song highlighted the societal problems just with healthcare in general.
Yeah.
throw another pill at it, it's going to fix it. And it's like, a pill does not necessarily solve the problem. It's like, oh, by the way, there's going to be these side effects and you're going to feel even worse off from the side effects.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely pro Western medicine. I believe in that stuff, but at the same time,
it's one facet of what needs to be a multifaceted approach, because we are complex beings, and
a pill can be a means to get to the solution, but I don't think it is the end all be all, especially when it comes to mental health.
Yeah.
And obviously Ren's dealing with a lot more than mental health with Lyme disease, but yeah, I'm relating to it more just in terms of mental health, just because that has been a big issue in my life.
Yeah, I agree with you on the medication thing. I think there's value in it, but that it's not the one size fits all solution. And I was going to do a TikTok a couple of years ago about medication for mental health. And I got this idea of like finding the right medications can help kind of like the defrost function of a vehicle. It doesn't drive the vehicle, and the vehicle, it could make it from one place to another without it. It's harder because then you gotta like scrape or like roll down the window and kind of look out, and it might be a whole lot slower and more difficult to get to the destination. But the defrost sure can make it easier if the parallel is finding the right medications that can help defog the brain enough to be able to see more clearly what paths might be taken. And I took pictures of my truck iced over one morning, took some video, and I didn't do anything with it. Fast forward a year and a half, I got in a wreck because I didn't defrost the ice.
Great.
It was not good. Fortunately, nobody was hurt, but I usually try and like make sure to get it all cleared off. But this time I couldn't. It was like, there's no time. Like I just we gotta go, and can't see. I'm trying to see, and I went too far, and I ended up slamming right into a parked car on the side of the road, which then went up and slammed another car. It was stupid, so stupid. The metaphor was made real for me.
Perfect. Yeah, and like you say, the medication is not the solution. It's a way to the solution. I kind of think back on my mission, I became horribly depressed to the point where I was put on some meds, but they had me on so many different medications that I wasn't myself. I was like this shell of a being because it just wasn't right.
Well, this song goes straight into that. It's called Chalk Outlines. If you're down for one more here.
Yeah, I can do one more.
Still here in this bed that I crawled in. I hope that I'm someone else in the morning. So take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine. Then walk around in the floating chalk outline. So it goes, let it be. In the gallows, balanced on my toes so I can breathe. But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while,
Don't cry, 'cause there's a pill for everything. Take this one, wash it down, and you'll be fine. The feeling goes, and you draw a chalk outline.
So it goes, let it be. In the gallows, I'm balanced on my toes so I can breathe. But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, erase ourselves. It's such a perfect day. Take it just in case. Take it just in case. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change. All things change. It's such a perfect day. It's a beautiful shade. It's a beautiful shade. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change. But little by little, bit by bit, I'll push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my,
Erase ourselves in these chalk outlines.
There you have it. And that's just the surface of Ren. That's just tip of the iceberg kind of a thing. He's so versatile, and it's been inspiring for me.
Very different from the last two, a more calm, melodic approach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One of the lines that stuck out to me was kind of losing yourself in the chalk lines.
Mm-hmm.
He's so authentic and real with his experiences.
Yeah.
Very revealing of what he has dealt with and relatable. Like he says, losing yourself in the chalk outline. That's all that's left sometimes after being prescribed something to supposedly make you feel better, but it just leaves you as an outline of who you are.
Yeah. That goes back to that importance of finding the right medication, which can be fortunately lucky for some, first try, and others trial and error for years.
Yeah.
My problem is I've not been consistent in recent years, which I'm told is very, very important with medication, that it be taken consistently for it to work. Sometimes I'll just forget, but other times I found myself resisting it. I'll see it there and I'll be like, I don't want to give in to accepting that I'm broken or something. No, it's not even that. It's
I think you're onto something with that, though.
It is a daily reminder that something is off enough to where I might need to take something for the rest of my life. Who knows? And if so, okay. Part of getting society used to these mental health concepts, right, is that people's brains work differently, and some brains don't produce this degree of chemical that is needed for the synapse to speak to the, and some days I'll take it and it's a triumph thing. Like, yes, I'm doing this for my mental health. But I've noticed also it's become discouraging to take it because I internalize it as this daily reminder that I'm no closer today than I was yesterday at any of the things that I'm supposed to be doing or wanting to be doing. Or it's just another day has passed where I have made zero progress in my mind. Right.
And like you've said, we're our own worst critic. Yeah. And so even though we might have made progress, we're not going to see it.
Yeah. I'm going to try to start writing stuff down more. That's one of my takeaways.
I've found it to be helpful.
I think getting more healthy routines is going to be important for me. I can't just stop doing the unhealthy ones. I've got to replace them with healthy ones. Well, thanks, Michael. I appreciate it. Mike, I think I say we're friends.
I think we're friends now.
Cool. Have a good night.
All right, thanks so much. We'll talk to you later, Brady.
Bye.